taco shop. It's called Kingwood Taco Shop. It is a family-owned Christian business that we love so much. Their tacos are delicious. We've only been there for breakfast, but I know they do lunch and dinner as well. They have all these Bible quotes all over the walls. I just love it. The atmosphere is so encouraging and uplifting. I know a lot of Bible study groups meet there and they play Christian music. It's just one of those places where you go and you not only get great food, but you just get great ambiance. I know that Corey had the picadilla tacos on this trip, and I think the chicharron. I had, the chorizo, potato, and cheese. We just absolutely love it here. Their tacos are affordable, they're delicious, the staff is kind. We just love it here. Try to get here as frequently as we possibly can. We had to get those tacos to go too. So Olivia and I decided to go do a little window shopping at this really cool place. It's called the Painted Tree, and I believe it used to be a Palais Royale or maybe a Steinmart, but if you can just visualize the size of a freestanding department store, that's about how big it is. And I believe they brought in well over 300 vendors. They have just different booths if you think of the concept of an antique mall, and it's got just a little bit of everything, every type of fashion you can think of. Here they are with their bath accessories. They make bath bombs, bath beads, and it's a great way to support small businesses, and you don't have to worry about being seen around town with 5 other people wearing the same thing as you. It's kind of got that boutique vibe where each thing is different. So they have jewelry, they have accessories, purses, shoes, they do candles, they make bread and jams and bath salts, just basically everything that you can think of, this place definitely has. So Olivia and I also enjoy the little coffee/tea shop that they have in there. We met the owner. He's from Vietnam. He is so nice, and he uses the highest quality ingredients in his drinks. And then I believe he said his wife was on the Food Network or something at some point, and she was on one of those baking shows. So the breads and the pastries that they have in there are just absolutely wonderful. Let me show you my haul from the Painted Tree. It's a small haul, but I've always wanted one of these t-shirts that have everything that embodies Texas in the shape of Texas, and I loved the whole retro baseball shirt vibe. But let me just tell you what all it's got. If you can't see it, it's got our favorite grocery store, H-E-B. It's got a margarita because we love our Tex-Mex here and our tacos. It's got Texas Longhorn, armadillo, our deer, our rattlesnakes, our the Alamo, the Houston Astros, and the Texans, our Dr. Pepper, our cactuses, and our sweet tea, our Shiner Bock beer, blue bonnets, you name it. I was so excited, I didn't even know when I got home until I looked closely. I was like, oh my gosh, that is my girl Selena. I can't believe Selena's on here, and George Strait. So, and of course our cowboy boots, because the rodeo is big in Texas. So I'm excited to rock that. And then with Mother's Day coming up, I was cracking up at some of these dish towels. This one right here says, part of me says I should stop drinking like this, but the other part of me says don't listen to her, she's drunk. My mom is by all means not a drunk, but she does like her glass of wine from time to time. So I got her that dish rag, and then I got her these nice little cozy socks for Mother's Day for her to wear around the house when her feet get cold. All in all, Olivia and I had a great time. We were only there about an hour or less, but it's still one of those all-in-one, one-stop shops. We had a great time. Today is kind of a bittersweet day for us. We are selling my older daughter, Chloe's car. It was her first car when she was 16. It's a Mini Coupe convertible, cute little sports car. It's been really good to her. It's kind of a seller's market right now. We looked up the Kelly Blue Book value of a Mini Coupe right now because our next door neighbor, he sells cars, and he told us that with Mini Coupes, once they reach 80,000 miles, that they kind of just become a money pit. And he wasn't lying, because about as soon as we hit the 80,000 mile mark, it just kind of started having problems. So we just decided to sell it. Chloe's cool with it. She likes to drive Olivia's car. We bought her a car, a little cute Chevy Spark. It's like mint green, beautiful. But Olivia doesn't really like driving, so Chloe's driving Olivia's car. We're selling Chloe's car. Chloe has aspirations to move to New York City one day, so she won't be needing a car anyway if that's the case. But, you know, we just decided to go ahead and sell it. They're making a pretty decent offer that's too good to pass up, and, you know, we don't have a need for all these cars anymore. So that's what we're doing today. I had to pause briefly, guys, because there is no sense trying to talk while driving on the highway in this convertible, because you literally can't hear anything. Oh, this cute little car holds so many memories. I'm just gonna look at it one more time. Corey said it is a good time to sell right now. She's had this about 7 years, I guess. Got a little bit of cat hair on it. Our cats love laying on top of her rag top. I'm gonna miss you, little one. Did Chloe ever name this car? Oh, it was Eleanor, yes. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna miss you, Eleanor.
It's a good thing I checked one more time. I just thought this was a little address book or something, but
it's her passport.
Behold, it's her passport. Say goodbye.
Bye, Eleanor.
To this maintenance hog.
I'll miss you. You've been so good to my baby. Alright, guys. Eleanor's gone.
I guess we probably could have tried to sell it as a private sale, but with my schedule, I can't deal with making appointments and people stop by and wanting to drive the car.
Dealing with a bunch of no-shows or people that aren't really serious. The insurance on a Mini Coupe or on any kind of sports car is just through the roof. So it was like, we either unload it now or we're going to pay on it for another couple of months and lose the difference between what they were asking and what we were hoping for.
It was within $500 of what we were asking for, so I think we did good. We bought all our cars from this dealership, so you know, I trust these people. I listen to the Car Pro guys on the weekends when I'm out running.
Michael Berry?
No, it's another guy. And just this morning he was saying if you got a used car, you better unload it now because they're going to start dropping in price again.
Yeah, and Olivia's car, in case you're in the market for a car, her Spark, her Chevy Spark, we just got that a couple of years ago, right? I think it was a 2017. It's doubled in value from what we paid for it. So anyway, those are all things to, consider now, unloading or buying cars. We're all trying to save a buck here and there and paying attention to the economy and things like that. So just stay informed, and we will be back later to show you what we're cooking in the kitchen and what we're doing in the garden. So see you soon. Corey has been asking for these little mini quiches that I make as his meal prep breakfast for the week. So let's get started. I have done a video before on how to make these quiches, but I'm going to go ahead and make it again. So I'm making it with a few modifications, but I'm going to use the smaller pan this time instead of the regular muffin pans. You're going to need some pie crust. You'll need both. They come with 2 in a box. We are going to use some pork breakfast sausage. I'm going to use some of the Augustin Farms spinach flakes back there. You can season it however you want, however you would season your eggs. We're going to use the Julio's all-purpose seasoning. It's got like a cumin base. Going to use the garlic powder. That says bay leaves, but it is our smoked sea salt, I believe. It's applewood smoked salt. I'm going to use some dehydrated onions, or freeze-dried onions back there. I don't know if you can see that. Sorry. And then we canned some asparagus that we've yet to try. We got them when they were on sale last year for 99 cents. And so we canned a whole bunch. We still haven't tried it. Make sure if you're canning things and dehydrating things that you're actually trying your product to see if you like it, so you know whether to make it again or not. I'm going to use, I think last time I used mozzarella cheese, but I've got cheddar jack this time. You're going to need a dozen eggs, and you're going to need, you can use milk or heavy whipping cream. I'm going to do half and half because I like the creaminess of the heavy whipping cream, and Corey does too. So, and then I've got this little glass here that I'm going to use as my pie crust cutter. So let's get started. Sometimes I'm a clean as I go kind of person. Other times, if I'm cooking a lot of stuff in the kitchen on a day, like today doing meal prep, I will just clean at the end of the day, knowing that I'm going to mess it up again. But ignore all this crud you see around the stove and in the pan. We made breakfast in it this morning, and so what we are going to do, I'm going to start out just browning the sausage. Let's go ahead and get these eggs cracked. We're going to use a dozen. Now I'm going to add a half a cup of milk. Then we're going to go in with a half a cup of whipping cream. If you don't have whipping cream on hand, you can just use a cup of milk for this recipe. I will go ahead and add some seasonings on this step. The dehydrated onions, applewood smoked sea salt, some garlic, some Julio's, the Augustin Farms spinach flakes, probably about a quarter of a cup. Let's go ahead and give this a whisk. We ended up using a hand mixer on this so I wouldn't splash it everywhere, because it obviously had 12 eggs in it and it needed to be beat pretty intensively. And then I've added a little bit more seasoning. I put some pepper and some herbs and I believe just a little bit more salt. Now I'm going to go ahead and add this egg mixture into this measuring cup to make it a little easier to pour. Now I'm going to start working on the pie crust. I think I've allowed it to thaw out enough. Yeah, if it cracks, no biggie. This is very forgiving. You can just put it back together. Not a big deal. I'm going to go in with a little bit of sausage. Now these are smaller cups, so I need to make sure that I'm not overstuffing these. We are going to add some asparagus. As you can see, we don't have a whole lot of room. I'm just going to kind of push it down. Now we're going to see if we have room to add the cheese. Let's see if we have room for the actual egg, since this is a quiche. I am now going to take my little mini quiches. I'm going to put it in the oven. I've set it to 375. We're going to do it for about 25 minutes. As you can see, a little bit of excess egg ran along the side, but that's okay. It's probably going to crisp up and come off with the quiche. So we will be back in 25 minutes. I wanted to show you how much dough we have left over. And I will put a link in the description box that shows you how to make cinnamon sugar cookies with leftover dough. You can also make cinnamon roll cookies. We have some leftover, so we have this much ground pork sausage left over, and we still have this much egg, so we hardly used any. I mean, not much fitting. This is my first time making these in the little small muffin tins, so I didn't get much egg use out of this, but that's okay because these make really great scrambled eggs the following day. So I might be able to make a couple of normal size quiches. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with the leftover. If we're just going to make regular eggs and sausage tomorrow, or we've got some leftover biscuits from this morning, or maybe we can wrap it up and make some taquitos, some breakfast taquitos tomorrow. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you. We just decided to mix the eggs, the leftover sausage together, and we're just gonna make a big breakfast scramble for breakfast tomorrow. It is time to take the quiche out of the oven. Let's see what we're working with here. Ooh, those blossomed up all pretty-fied.
Yeah, they did.
Look at that.
All right.
So we got some leftover egg. Y'all see that? I can't turn it sideways. I don't want all the grease to... Yeah, there you go. Love it. Corey cheated.
Yeah.
He
that
had
egg mixed with that half and half makes a really fluffy egg.
He's taken some of the leftover. I'm going to try that too.
Can you get you a piece?
Let me see. Well, it does have good flavor. All right, babe. Let us know what you think.
These are smaller than the other ones we had. But
He's going to manage to put a couple of...
sauce on it anyway. Good.
Like them?
Mm-hmm.
Hazy, you going to do a taste test on the quiche? Yeah, Daddy's got to blow it for her. Hazel, do you like that? You give it 2 paws up?
Yay! Yay!
Y'all just gotta see, this is when Corey comes home from work. She barks and then she gets up in his arms. She jumps up on the bed or something, so he picks her up. And then he'll walk around the house. He'll go check the mail. He'll do chores and just carrying her like a little baby. And she just lays so content. Hazy, you love your daddy? Okay, so when I make dinner, I like to pull the meat out of the freezer the day before and let it start thawing. So, but I get intimidated because Corey keeps the deep freezer just overly crammed, and I get like overwhelmed. I just don't want to have anything to do with it. So I just said, I'm going to reach in and grab whatever's the closest, and that's what we're having. So guess what it was? Johnsonville Better Cheddar Smoked Sausage. So let me show you what I'm going to do with this. We're going to keep it simple tonight for dinner. We've been on the go all day, so this is what I'm going to do. I am going to use the Johnsonville cheddar sausage links. I'm going to dice these up. I'm going to use some of this bacon that we got on sale at Kroger for $1.58. Love that. I am going to make the cornbread according to the package directions and then just put that on the top. I am going to dice up an onion. And then I'm just going to throw these 2 types of beans in here. These are obviously pork and beans, which are used for the beans and franks, beans and wieners, whatever. And then I'm going to use this. This is like the Walmart brand of Bush's beans. And you can use whatever condiments in here, you know. Some people like to elevate their beans and put some brown sugar, ketchup, mustard, whatever. But as you can see, this is already, it's got brown sugar, hickory, it's got all the ingredients already in it. And I'm just going to do it as is, so let's get started. Honestly, it doesn't matter what you put in first, it's all going to just get mixed together. So I'm going in with the onions. Next, we're going in with the hot dogs. So the bacon is already cooked. I'm just going to go ahead and cut this up. I don't think I'm going to use the entire package. This is an awful lot of meat. I'm going to save the leftover bacon and put it with that mixture that Corey put together with our leftover quiche ingredients. By the way, he added leftover asparagus to that as well. So we might as well just throw the leftover. We got a couple of more little sleeves of bacon, and we'll just save that for our breakfast tomorrow. So we're going to put the 15-ounce can of pork and beans in first. Now I'm going to go in with the 28-ounce can of beans. I think I forgot to mention, I'm going to put some cheese in here, because what casserole doesn't have cheese? Just going to make the cornbread topping according to the package directions. So we're going to add this along with 1 egg and 1/3 cup of milk. I'm going to add just a little bit more milk to this just to thin it out and make it easier to spread. We're going to bake this according to the cornbread directions, so we're going to set the oven to 400 and bake it for 25 minutes. Since everything's already cooked in this casserole, that should be plenty of time. We're just basically warming it up and then cooking the cornbread on top. Okay guys, Corey is not very hungry right now, so he did the taste test a few minutes ago of the quiche, so I'm going to taste test this yummy hot dog casserole. It smells divine. You can see the cheese. This is so good. This is going to become my new go-to recipe this summer. I can see us taking this camping with us. The cornbread, the onion, the bacon. The bacon gives it a real good smoky taste. But it's literally like if you infused a corn dog with beans and wieners. It's just good. So simple. I hope you give this a try. Well, Corey couldn't resist. He heard me over here eating and going, So he had to come get some.
Come give it a little try. And I'll eat more later.
This is good on so many levels. Johnsonville, the cheddar stuffed. He likes the jalapeno stuffed. I like the cheddar. I think that makes a difference too. Yeah. But these are better than regular hot dogs.
Oh, by far. This is like
it's a total camp out meal, huh?
Pork and beans on steroids. And I really like the onion. The onion adds a lot of flavor too.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Fresh onion.
It kind of gives me Frito chili pie vibes too. You think this might be good if you threw some Fritos up in this?
Yep.
Look off the cheese and the beans.
Piece of cornbread.
It's good, guys.
Go.
We finally adjusted the height on this thing because it's always cutting off the top of Corey's head.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I'm tiny compared to you. That's wild.
Fine.
All right, guys.
This would be good even if you did like ground beef and stuff too, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure there's 100 different variations, but I just want to keep it simple. You know, I said whatever falls out of the freezer, that's what I'm going to thaw out and make a meal out of. So, hot dogs it was.
Harley, sit. Smile.
Olivia is such a pet whisperer. I love taking her on all my dog sitting assignments.
Just kind of show you the status of our little greenhouse here. I got to look at my spreadsheet I have on the computer, but it looks like none of our sweet peppers or peas came up. Well, actually, these are peas here. So these two are peas. These two are squash. I got another row of squash. And then I have all these are tomatoes. I got cherry tomatoes and Roma tomatoes. And then over here, a sweet tomato. These, oh, that's got to be dill, huh? That's got to be dill right there. Yeah, that's dill. Some parsley coming up. Those two are basil. Oh, we love basil. So little basil's coming up. And then right here I'm going to do, in this one I bought another one of these little guys. And I'm going to do habanero pepper, poblano, jalapeno, and serrano. I add a cup and a half of warm water to this. And then it'll take a few minutes and these guys will get to about 1.5 inches high. And then I'll plant the seeds. I'll slide this over since these are already grown like that, and I'll put this new one on the heat mat. So we'll come back and show you later when they start to sprout.
We're about to pop some trays in the freeze dryer, and today's kind of just a hodgepodge of different things. We're doing mangoes, which we've done before, but the real mystery things that we're doing are beets, because I heard that beets are good for lowering your blood pressure. I'm trying to get a little bit more healthy, and I used to take a beet powder that I would mix in some water. So I decided I'd freeze dry these and either eat them as they are or possibly grind them into a powder. We're also doing fish sticks. That could be a hot mess, or it could be the neatest snack we've ever done. I have no idea. But there was a little bit of extra room on our third tray, so I decided I'm going to do some breakfast parfait banana boats. So let me show you how we make those. Okay, so I know when you're making things like banana boats, the dessert kind, they're like banana splits on the freeze dryer, you're really limited with what you can use because peanut butter doesn't freeze dry well, chocolate doesn't freeze dry well. Not even sure about the honey. I know we've used maple syrup before and it kind of just crystallized, but we're going to give this a shot anyway. So I am going to cut these in half. So I have like 4 little miniature boats. And then I'm going to put some yogurt. I'm going to put some of this coconut granola topping. It's got a little bit of oatmeal in it. I am going to do a couple of pecans, some raspberries, if I can fit some raisins, and then kind of just drizzle some honey over it. So let's get started. I know when we do banana boats over a campfire, they get squishy. We use a little more ripe bananas, so it's kind of like the texture of a cooked baked potato, you know? So these are a little not so ripe, but we're going to make them work. Next, let's put on some of the granola. Now it's time to strategically place some pecans. Now let's throw some raspberries on here. Now let's drizzle it with a little bit of honey. Mangoes, fish sticks, and our leftover egg concoction. I gotta take one of these before you put it in there.
Dang. Dang.
It wasn't like you didn't already have 10 pieces.
Maybe. This will be our most, I don't want to call it exotic, but this is
a hot mess?
Yeah, maybe that's it.
That's a better term than exotic. All right.
First mess. Oh, shoot.